When Nick believes Victor knows what happened to Ashland, he believes Adam told a lie. While Chance gets a tour of Victoria's house and Allie and Noah have a fun time hanging out with Summer and Kyle, Sharon gives Sally some suggestions on how to deal with the situation. While Nick is upstairs, Victoria circles the location where Ashland had been laying while she waits downstairs for him. She's perplexed as to how he's gone despite the fact that they both checked his pulse. They should presume Ashland is still alive and has somehow escaped to the outside world. Kyle and Summer are about to raise a glass to their relationship at the rooftop bar when they catch sight of Noah and Allie. Kyle thinks of Kyle's brother and Kyle's niece. Their decision is to follow them. Sharon spots Adam at Crimson Lights and notices that he appears to be pondering something. He checks in with her to see how she's faring. She's doing okay and inquires about his well-being. Adam has relocated to the Grand Phoenix from the ranch. Sharon was startled to learn that Nick had returned to Newman Enterprises, given the company's recent staff upheavals. Specifically, she is curious as to why Adam isn't taking over as CEO of Newman Media again. In Adam's mind, it was a premeditated and forceful proclamation of independence from his father. Sharon smiles. Since she knows how important the media section was to him, it seems like a natural response. Adam has finally cut relations with Victor after feeling betrayed yet again by Victor's election in favor of Victoria. Sally frowns as she listens in on the conversation from the patio. The blood on the floor of Victoria's house is all over her hands as she reaches out to touch it. When Nick returns from inspecting the outside, they are perplexed as to why Ashland hasn't had a pulse. Because he went away, Victoria thinks it must have been faint and they couldn't detect it. You have no choice but to accept this, Nick. At least you didn't kill him, right? Victor enters the room right on cue. Asked what he was doing at the location, Victoria inquires. That is why I'm here. I'm here to keep you safe. In your question, what am I doing here? I don't understand. Kyle and Summer are dancing with Noah and Allie on the rooftop bar. Summer asks Noah, "So?" after Kyle and Allie go out for drinks. Kyle tells Allie that he hopes to get to know her better in the pub where they meet. Even yet, she recognizes he has a lot going on, including employment, family obligations, and the care of Diane. Not one for small conversation. Kyle mews S. I hope I'm not offending you, Allie. He respects her candor and inquires as to whether or not she's upset with him. A member of Team Undecided is Allie. Despite the fact that she was a pawn in her relationship with Jack, the woman has been friendly ever since. She tells Kyle that there's a lot of interest in her allegiances in town. Kyle regrets her involvement in the situation. Allie asks Kyle if being an abbot is really as flawless as it looks to be when it comes to Noah. As Kyle explains to Allie, family life is a roller coaster, but she'll get the hang of it. Allie gushes about how wonderful Jack, Tracy, Ashley, and Billy have been to her. The fact that she'll be working with Jabot makes her very happy. Kyle is relieved that she's finally settled down. As they do, they catch sight of Summer and Noah across the way. Yeah, I am too, Allie says with a smile. Summer confides in Noah that she's leaving New Hope across the street. Summer isn't surprised at all, but she thinks Nick will be. We talked, and I was quite supportive of you, Noah says. It's clear to everyone that he wants to be different from Victor when it comes to him. On the way to Victoria's house, Victor confesses to having an outside security detail parked discreetly in a car. Nick inquires as to whether or not they had seen Ashland. Is he still breathing? Chance enters the room at the exact moment. As soon as I could get here, I did. Whatever become of Ashland? The question is everyone all right? Sally is at Crimson Lights listening to Adam tell Sharon that this time is different. As long as he's making a clean break from Victor, Sharon says, she'll be happy about it. Adam is baffled as to why she is so supportive of Nick's decision to join the family. His and Nick's personalities are significantly different, according to Sharon. Adam sees this as a compliment and appreciates it. Adam explains to Sharon why he needs to make a clean break from Victor in order to be genuinely free. This time at Newman hasn't been any different, although Sharon has seen some signs of the decent man he's always been. The thought never occurs to her, but perhaps Sally had a positive impact on the situation. They've gone their separate ways, Adam tells us. The news of Sharon's membership in the Sally Spectra fan club surprises Adam, who assumed she was unaware of it. They aren't buddies, as Sharon admits, but she did appear to care for him and offer assistance while he navigated the complexities of his family life. You could see she was interested in you and you in her. Adam discovers that Sally visited Sharon a long time ago to discuss him with her. He sincerely regrets his behavior. Because she cared so much for him, Sharon grew to believe that she had done it. There was too much going on in Adam's relationship with Sally for it to be simple. Sharon speculates that it can't be that if he doesn't care what the Newmans think. Despite Adam's reservations, Sharon reminds him that he is speaking to her. When Ray died, he was the first person to whom she could tell the whole extent of her grief, and now she wants to repay the favor. Maybe I wanted to let her fly, without me stifling her wings. When I let her go, I wanted to see her soar. Sally breathes out on the patio before charging into the coffee shop to face him. "You lied to me," I screamed. "She doesn't want him to do this for her. He thinks he's helping her. All I want is to be with you," he said. Chance learns from Victoria that Ashland showed up unannounced at the house earlier. They have a strained relationship because of the fact that she made it apparent she didn't want anything to do with him in the future. As she remembers him becoming furious and seizing her at one point, Chance scribbles something down in his pad. I knew he was going to hurt me at that point. Then Chance discovers that's exactly when Nicholas showed up. It was inevitable that Ashland would end up killing Victoria. One more bombshell for longtime Ashland fans. From the moment he arrived at Victoria's home, Nick continues the story that began with him. When Ashland tried to go after Victoria, he punched him in the jaw, he explains to me. Locke smacked his head on the fireplace after tripping and falling. They were unable to get any response from him, and they also couldn't locate a pulse. Because of Ashland, Nick claims he had to intervene in order to protect his sister. He then went outdoors because he was shaken, according to Nick's story. Victor is of the opinion that this was an obvious case of self-defense on the part of the victim. In light of what he has heard, Chance agrees. However, he inquires as to where Locke is currently. Nick explains that Ashland was gone when they entered the building from the street. Sharon moves away from Sally and Adam, who are trying to leave the coffee shop. After grabbing him, Sally can't decide whether to be angry with him or embrace him and tell him she loves him, because she knows he does as well. Adam claims he lied to Sharon because he believes she misinterpreted what he was saying. As to why he'd do such a thing, Sally wonders. Despite Adam's best efforts, he couldn't convince her that his acts were noble. Sally isn't convinced. There's no way Adam can be any clearer than he is right now. Sally thinks he's frantically searching for an answer. Adam deems her pitiful and desperate for following him around and listening to his phone calls and text messages. Before kissing him, she spanks him on the face with a hard, swift blow. When Sally and Adam ultimately break up, she tells him that he can tell anyone whatever he wants about their split. He can even tell himself. But that kiss was the truth. He still loves her. A job at Newman Media is nothing in comparison to what they have. Indulge in one more kiss with Adam before he pulls away. Stop. Before she leaves, he tells her they're done and she needs to go on. When Chance arrives at Victoria's residence, he notices a blood spot on the hearth and concludes that he was alive. In order for him to stagger out of the hospital after being concussed, he must be weak and confused. Because Victoria contacted him 15 minutes after everything had transpired, Chance calculates that he got in his car and drove away as soon as he could. Asked, "What do you mean?" Victor responds, "What are you implying?" Summer tells Allie that she brought back her brother's smile and gave him a reason to stay at the rooftop bar. Because she's not the only one, Allie urges No to share his nightclub plans with them. Summer proclaims he may have just encountered his first roadblock when he admits he wants to do it in the top of tower. Her explanation of why he doesn't want to turn it into a glam nightclub is because he frequently utilizes it. In spite of the fact that Allie doesn't know Victor, she believes that a successful entrepreneur will notice an innovative idea. Summer isn't giving up hope, though, and she's come up with a new plan. A magnificent room on the top floor of her mother's hotel would be ideal. In Kyle's opinion, it's a better match. No will ponder it. The plan will be remembered if it fails to impress Grandpa. During a night out at Crimson Lights, Sharon inquires about Sally's well-being. No, she isn't. Sharon asks, "Would you like to discuss it?" "Yes, I suppose I do," Sally admits. wiping away a sigh. With Sharon in the booth, Sally confesses that Adam's recent movements have her in a state of confusion and she's not sure what to trust. That he claimed that being with Sharon had contaminated him in his father's eyes, yet she just heard him tell Sharon the opposite, which is what she had assumed was confirmed by Sharon's investigation. Can I ask you this? What if I'm being deceived? Amidst the conflicting accounts, Sharon believes the truth lies somewhere in between. She will have an opportunity to shine at Newman Media when he steps down. In Sally's opinion, she should make the decision. Even if a person hasn't requested for protection, Sharon is aware of Newman's tendency to do it. To get over Adam's reluctance, Sally doesn't sure how. How can she persuade him to quit being so selfless and just fall in love with her all over again? Chance has come to Victoria's house to inquire about Ashland's car, which she tells him about. A side street might have been an option since Nick didn't notice it when he was walking by the front door and Victoria saw him enter through the back door. A search for Chance and his vehicle will begin as soon as he is located. He sincerely regrets what has occurred to Victoria. Vic doesn't want to alarm the Abbotts unduly because he fears that Nick may go after Harrison. A squad car should be sent to investigate, he advises. That's something Chance will do, but Locke has worries about making it that far. He'll go to the hospital if he's wise. When Chance locates Ashland, he approaches Victoria and inquires about pressing charges. If she has her way, Victoria would like to see him in prison to ensure that something like this never happens again. Sharon advises Sally in the coffee shop that there are no easy answers when it comes to Adam. That's something Sally is coming to terms with. If Sally is engaged with him, Sharon says her situation is precarious at best because Victoria doesn't like or trust him. Even if their relationship has cooled down, Nick and I still have a tumultuous past. Because Sally doesn't get why the Newmans are so involved in everything. Sharon tells me that they're all in one package. How important is Sally's role as a Newman Media employee to her? She wonders. Sally has made it abundantly clear to Adam that she values him far more than anything else. There must be a way to prove it to him, Sharon assures her. Looking tired, Adam begins unpacking his suitcase in his room at the Grand Phoenix. When he sees a flashback of Sally kissing him in crimson lights, he immediately comes to a halt. Chance asks Victoria and Nick if they have anything else to tell him at Victoria's house. No detail is too tiny in situations like this. They don't see anything they've missed. Victor tells Chance to go, and he does. All right, he's gone, Nick tells his father. We want to know what happened here last night, don't we?